It's Feedback Friday again. Time to have a look at some of your projects. And for me to just yada a little bit. Coming up. How's it, jokes, and welcome back to Ratros for Africa, my one-man shop out here in the middle of the forest on a small farm near a tiny town called Mossel Bay, at the bottom end of South Africa. So the status quo currently here at the shop. Hey, some of you guys might remember the British band with the same name, Status Quo. When I was a younger dude, we used to rock and headbang like mad. Here we go, oh, rocking all over the world. The poor old Hudson has been pushed out of the fitting rooms for a while so that I could do some work on the wifey's project, the 54 Renault that I'm busy putting on a VW chassis. Yeah, she's not happy about the current state of affairs. I received a very interesting comment from Ronald West with info I never really knew. He tells me that the Hudson Big Boy was designed by the first ever female auto designer in 1939, a lady by the name of... Picking birds are interrupting me. A lady by the name of Betty Thatcher Oros. So apparently Hudson wanted a female auto designer to bring in a woman's perspective on auto design. Interesting stuff. Maybe we should call her Blue Betty. Yeah, so the tiny little yellow Noddy car is currently occupying the place of honor here in my action station. If you've been following this build, you will actually notice that I've got the body onto the VW floor pan now, very loosely, and I'm not quite there yet. I'm still fine-tuning a little bit here and there. I'll post that video this coming Wednesday so that you can see what has been required, and there's still some stuff I have to do to finish this business. But yeah, we're getting to the point where I've got this piece of yellow French steel fitting on the VW floor pan. So I also managed to do a small little shop upgrade here. I've mounted these LED lights on this rack here. Let me switch them on. So now I've got some light shining down here. Just so that my old eyes can see a little bit better, my child. So with just the overhead lights, see all these shadows that I've got here. But now with my new lights, let me switch them on here. Look at that. I mean, I can just see so much better. Yes, that's going to make a big difference. There's actually a lot going on here at the moment, because we also want to get a few cars and trucks ready to take through to the George Old Car Show, which is taking place on the 10th and 11th of February. So that's something to look forward to. It is one of the biggest car shows in South Africa. It's mostly restored and old and original vintage vehicles, but there's always a couple of hot rods. And we will definitely be taking a few rats through, just to squeeze in there between all the queens. So we'll take through the RRR recovery rig, planning to take through old Flytrap here, and one other car that will be a surprise. And then, yeah, a poor old Hudson, yeah, is still a long way from driving. Man, I gotta get back onto this truck so we can get some more work done on her soon. I'm pushing her back into the fitting rooms. So before we dive into your projects, how about a quick language lesson? We haven't done one of those in a while. The word for today is the South African, universal South African word, eish. Eish. It's actually got its origin in the Xhosa language, one of our black languages here in South Africa. And it's an exclamation expressive for surprise, amazement, or even disapproval. You could say, eish man, I love it. Or you could say, eish, this has been hard. like what it was for me to fit this body onto the span. Still fighting with it. Here in South Africa, we've got 12 official languages. Can you believe it? I mean, English is the sort of universal communication language, but you also have Afrikaans as an official language, and then a whole lot of black languages, Xhosa, Zulu, Sotho, and a few others. I'm not going to name them all. And recently they've even recognized sign language as one of our official languages. I don't think there's any other country in the world with so many official languages. So my mother tongue is actually Afrikaans, and English is my second language, and that's why I sometimes stumble over my words a little bit, and my pronunciation is not always that good. I can read and write it very well, but yeah, sometimes I stumble a little when I have to speak it, and you're going to have to deal with that, I'm sorry. Right, enough yada yada. Let's have a look at some of your projects. First up today is a toy car. Lexprate in Holland is busy building this on a lawnmower frame. So yes, it will have an engine and a steering wheel and everything will be working. I would love to build something like this one day for my grandson. Phil, somewhere in France, owns this cool Renault from the early 50s. He does not say exactly what his plans are, but this image does give an idea of where he wants to go with it. Here's a shot of the interior and also the driver. I hope that's not Phil sitting in there. Angel Perez in Texas just picked up this 1989 Chevy and is busy replacing parts right through. As you can see here, he's already replaced the body panel. Unfortunately, I was not able to open up the other pics he sent. Now I wonder how many of you will know what this is. It's a 1956 DKW, the F93 model, and belongs to Cobus Dubert, who lives in Riversdale, a small town not too far from me here in South Africa. It's got a 900cc two-stroke engine, yes, two-stroke, and has been completely rebuilt by Cobus. He's been doing some interesting upgrades as well and has changed it to electronic ignition and fuel injection. Clever stuff that. I think I will just stick to my old-fashioned carburetors. Well done, Cobus. David Winslow in Missouri built himself this cool teardrop trailer for his motorbike. That's a really cool pic, man. That's 1944, it belongs to Craig Godfrey up in Ontario in Canada. Now the original chassis was completely rotten and he replaced it with a 1980 El Camino frame that he shortened. Craig also rebuilt all the floors and assembled a 383 stroker engine. Currently he's busy with the electrics. Yeah, keep at it, bro, it's going to be a cool ride. Now here's an interesting project. Chris Boone, together with his brother and father, is busy building this radical rat out in Tennessee from a 1953 Dodge M37. It's got a Jeep front axle, a 350 Chevy engine, and a Ford 9-inch in the rear end. The grille is from a White Motor Company truck. That's not something you see often. And look, it's got a handmade roof and grill shell and bed. Some radical stuff going on here, dudes. I love it. Jimmy Myers has spent 550 hours to turn a basket case too rusty to be repaired, 1962 C10, into a driving solid rat rod truck. That's a real sweet looking truck, my brother. Now here's something that I have not seen in a long time. It's a 1959 International, and this one belongs to Mark Parker down under in Golden Beach on the Sunshine Coast of Queensland in Australia. It sits on a 1971 Holden HQ chassis, and the engine is also a Holden, a 253 V8. If you did not know, Holden was an Australian subsidiary company of General Motors,
and they developed a number of their own in-house models, such as the Holden Commodore and the Holden Caprice. This is a car I have never seen here in South Africa, a 1928 Dodge that first looked like this. Can you believe it? The proud owner is Glenn Miller in Saskatchewan, Canada. I hope I say that name right. It's got air ride in the front and the rear, a 2005 5.7 Hemi engine, and even AC. Glenn says he has put 17,000 kilometers on it already, and it's super reliable, and he would drive it across Canada any day. You can check out the entire build and some adventures on his YouTube channel, Redneck Coachworks. Glenn is currently busy with a 59 GMC fleet side. So head on over to his channel after this and go give him some love, man. The last project for today is this 1941 Chevy truck that is being built by Carlos Cordova in San Diego, California. It's a complete frame of build with an 87 Corvette suspension front and rear, 350 Chevy engine, 350 turbo transmission. All work has been done by Carlos with his brothers as technical advisors and his wife, his biggest cheerleader. Great work, Carlos. Send us some pics when it's together and give our regards to the cheerleader, man. Man, I just love it how the common interest in cars bring guys from all over the world together. I mean, we are in New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Europe, the US, Canada, all over the planet. And all of that, regardless of politics, religion, race, culture, and all of that. I just think the Gearhead Petrolhead community is freaking awesome. So yeah, keep those emails coming with some pics of your projects. Thank you to everyone that has contributed so far. I still got quite a few projects that I need to share. So if you haven't seen your project, please have patience, my brother. I don't want to do too many projects in a single video, so I'm doing about 10, 11, 12 at a time. And we'll cover some more of them in the next Feedback Friday video. Thanks for spending some time with me in the shop out here today. I enjoyed seeing your projects and I enjoyed your company. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a lucky one, my brothers.